What a beautiful Sunday morning. Right as soon as I hit go live, I got something in my eye. Good morning. It looks terrible too. I don't know what that was. Good morning. Let's have some coffee. Look, I got Leah's cup. It says manifest that shit. Yup. Manifest that shit, yo. Good morning, good morning. Boy, it's one of them beautiful mornings, you know? One of those, those days where just for no particular reason at all, you just feel really, really good. No reason. I mean, nothing out here in particular is going any better than it normally goes. It's just, for whatever reason, you just like, dude, today feels good, you know? It's like one of those. The goal is to try to find that as much as possible, you know? That's my goal. I'm getting better at gaining access to that switch. You know, it's like a switch in here, and you be able to flip it on at any given time. You know, to where it's just like, yes, I feel good. You know, I'm getting better at it. In my personal opinion, I would say that's like the main goal. That's the goal in life. Period. Is to figure out how to flip that switch. You know, no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening, no matter if things are going good, if things are going bad, doesn't matter. Flip that switch, bam, I feel good, you know? Today is a beautiful, blessed day. I love that. I love that feeling. Oh, yeah. So what's up, y'all? Got a little handful of you in here. Got Montana in the house. What's up, y'all? Oh, Sarah, Jackie, and Mojo. Mr. Yoda. What's up, y'all? So anyway, let's have some coffee. My head is a little bit more put together this morning than it normally is, you know. Woosah, hello. So what's up with y'all? Got anything interesting to talk about? Not me, just the same old stuff here. Master Yoda. Okay. Cool. Right on. Gotcha. I got a personal reading due here in about 3 hours. So, you have a question for me? I might have an answer. I can't promise you nothing. Maybe. I might have an answer. I don't have the answers to everything. I'm very particular about what I do and don't know, you know. It's one of my biggest pet peeves is somebody who has an answer for everything, you know. That gets under my skin so bad, you know. I always shy away from those people. I always shy away from them. Like, if I listen to you talk and you just have an answer for everything, I mean everything. You have an answer for everything. You're full of shit. You know, you're full of shit. Those are the people I shy away from, you know. Yep. So whoever that was that said they have a question, I may have an answer, possibly. I'm not sure though. Good morning, people. You married somebody like that? I think we've all met somebody like that, you know. We've all met somebody like that. I was like my grandpa. I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandfather, old Scorpio, had a genius level IQ, and he had lots of answers. But if you asked him a question and he didn't know the answer to something, he couldn't sleep until he found the answer. He couldn't sleep until he found the answer, you know? So he would go do his research and he'd come back and be like, all right, Rich, you remember that question you asked me yesterday? No, not really. Oh, well, you asked me, yada, yada. He goes, well, I found the answer, you know? If you choose not to reincarnate on Earth, can you make that decision? Yes. Well, again, I don't know what it is that you're doing here exactly. It really depends on what you came here to do. Yeah, nobody is being forced to incarnate on Earth. No. I know that there's a lot of people out there that love to assign connotations of you have to do this. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're the boss. You're the president. You're the emperor. You're the king. You're the creator of what you come here and experience. We just don't know what we agreed to do before we got here. We just don't know what we agreed to do before we got here. A lot of us took this assignment on and knew damn good and well we were going to come here and live 100,000, a million lifetimes, But no, you don't have to. You can cut the contract at any given time. Nope, sorry, I don't want to play that game. Nope, nah, yeah, I'm good. I'm out. I don't want to play that game anymore, Yeah, but I can't answer directly like what it is that you came here to do, what it is your soul wanted to come here and learn, what your assignment here was. But no, absolutely nobody is here being forced against their will. No. And there's a lot of people that would like to argue that. I don't give a shit. No. Anyway, though, I did have as close of an answer as I could think of to that. But no, I don't have the answers to everything. I really don't. I really do not. But the cool thing is, here's the cool thing. Especially when it comes to things of that nature, when it comes to things like that, we get to go inside and create our answers. We get to go inside and I remember what it was like on my path when I was looking for the answer from somebody, and I was desperately searching for the answer from somebody. And I would get so pissed, like, somebody give me the answer, And nobody had it. Nobody out there had it. And that's the thing that I realized, I have to go inside and create my own answers for me. Oh, okay. I see how this works now. It makes sense, So, there's a lot of things that I can't do, like interpret dreams. I can't do that. If somebody asks me a question about a dream, I don't know I can't interpret dreams. I can't, I'm nervous about channeling. It happens from time to time. It happens kind of randomly, and it's kind of weird. And, but I'm loosening up. And I really, the only thing that I can intuitively think is like, it just kind of depends on the person I'm reading for, Because what I do is I read energy. That's what I read. I read energy. And where you're vibrating right now, if you leave your vibration alone and you just leave your default vibration, your energy, the way it's resting right now, the way you're vibrating, that's pulling forth timelines. That's pulling default timelines forward. That's what I read. So if you just don't make any changes to your energy and you just leave your energy where it's at right now, I can pretty well look at the timelines you're pulling forward based on that. But again, I dedicated my life to learning how to change my energy and pull forth different default timelines. And then I learned the tarot. You see what I'm saying? So does that make sense as to the perspective that I read from? And those of you who have gotten a personal reading from me, it's a little bit more in depth than my general readings, But anywho, never seen me in white? Oh, yeah. Leah picked this out for me. This shirt's badass, dude. Yep, I gotta give in and bite the bullet and let a woman pick my clothes out sometimes, I don't know what looks good. I'm not fashionable. I don't know, so she's like, babe, let me pick you out some clothes. All right, okay, so she picked this out. I'm like, dude, you're right, this shirt is badass. Good morning. So, anywho, yeah, no, I was wearing the shirt last night. I was wearing it last night in my readings. It's all good, though. It's all good. So I have one reading to do. I don't know how many readings I have today, honestly. I know that I have one still printed out over there. I know I have one still printed out for personal readings. It's due no later than like 10:30, I believe. How do I stay sharp and clear? Sharp and clear? I don't know what that means. What's that mean? Sharp and clear? You mean my appearance? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. This right here is, I changed up my facial hair yesterday. In my mind, oh, I don't. I don't stay sharp and clear in my mind all the time. Oh no, I don't. I gotta like constantly make sure that, like, especially before I go on camera, I always have to make sure that I'm in as tip-top shape as possible, and it doesn't always happen. So there's many times where I have to take like a nap, you know, be like, man, I'm not feeling it right now. I'm just like blah, and my brain's going. It just kind of feels like a Jeep that's just been mudding and it just beat up and banged up, and I'm like, I got to take a nap. I got to meditate or something, and drink coffee. So I'll get like a little nap, a little meditation in or something like that, and then drink some coffee. But I'm not always sharp and clear in my mind. But I always am before I come on camera. I always try to make it a point. You know what I mean? Doesn't always happen, but before I read cards. And man, it kind of makes me a little bit envious, because a lot of you who have been following me for a while, you know that, like, back in the day when I was much younger, I really tried to be a YouTuber, really tried. And that was a dream of mine. And then I pretty much let that go. But that was back in the day when you could make a living on YouTube doing fucking just anything, really. People would make a good living just talking about their life, And I mean, I'm talking hundreds of thousands of people would watch these videos, But now, though, that oh, wow, bam, my dream came true 10 years later. I'm kind of envious of other people who it doesn't really seem like they have that much. And I don't mean this in a rude way. I really don't. But it really doesn't seem like there's that much brain work that goes into what some people do. And that, again, that's no disrespect. I don't mean that they're stupid or anything like that. But like with the tarot, when you're reading the tarot, that's constant, like, brain work, man. Dude, the shit that you have to do in your mind, and the way you have to loosen your mind up, and the level that you have to think just to, on the fly, be able to decipher what this shit means and read all these energies and stuff like that. It takes your brain and just pulls it apart, and it's draining. It's very draining. It is, and I'm like, damn, man, I finally got put in a position to where I earn a good living with very minimal physical effort. But man, the mental effort that goes into that is off the chain, dude. It's off the charts. The mental effort that goes into it. And I would always get so envious. I'd watch people who, they just put the camera up and talk about a little concept, Like, man, I wish I could do that, 50,000 people just watch that. 50,000 people wouldn't just watch me talk. Well, they have before, but, I had to throw that in the mix. I have to, like, if I wanted to make a video of me just talking, I would just have to randomly throw that in the mix of my tarot card videos. I couldn't just, like, do that. Or maybe I could. I don't know. Maybe I'm short selling myself. I don't know. I don't know. But it is still my calling, It's the calling. And it's fascinating, too, when I look back on how this career found me. It's fascinating, dude. Because it was yelling at me long before I ever even would have ever even thought in a million years. Like, before YouTube tarot could have even existed as a concept in my mind, this career was yelling at me, And that, looking back in hindsight, it's really like, whoa. It's really important to pay very close attention to what the universe is trying to tell you, Because I could have stumbled upon this career years ago, but there's no way I could have found the path. The universe had to put me through some very specific, events in order to drag me to this path. I don't know. I'm just battling now. I might need another cup of coffee. I might need another one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Hang on, y'all. Hang on. Ugh. Okay. Throwing me another cup of coffee together. I'm still feeling a little. Eh. Man, I can't wait until I get my regular crowns in. I'm very impressed though. I'm very impressed by how real it looks. They look very, very real. This is just a temporary thing, you know? Oh, that process was miserable, dude. Oh, that sucked. They were just in my mouth drilling and drilling and drilling for an eternity, dude. And that gold tooth, to get the gold tooth out, she said, all right, you might see some sparks. She said, you might see some sparks. That's normal. I was like, sparks? She had to like saw through it. And, you know, oh, they were just in my mouth drilling and drilling for like 3-4 hours, dude. Oh, it sucked. Oh, man, it just, by the time I was done, I was just like, I couldn't even like, oh, it sucked, dude. And then they just stuck this thing up in my mouth. They filled a mold of my teeth. They filled it with this shit and then stuck it up in my mouth and held it there for like, I don't know, a few minutes, and then pulled it off and went, oh, wow. The girl did. She pulled it off. She goes, oh, wow, that came out perfect. And they did too. But I can't wait to get this damn thing. It's one solid piece of whatever this temporary crown shit is. And in like another week and a half, I get my regular crowns, you know? Ooh, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Ow. Anyway. Oh, who made the new intro? Oh, my video intro? I made that. I made that. Yeah, it's been something that I've been wanting to do for months now. And I finally sat down and started kind of looking into it about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I just could never find the time in the day to sit and research how to make a video intro. I couldn't do it, you know? I didn't have the time. I had to do readings, and then when I'm done with my readings, get me the hell away from the computer, get me, you know. But anyway, I've been having trouble. I've been having issues with my ads streaming live, you know? I've been having issues with it on and off for about the past couple of weeks. If I stream live, I don't know what it is, I don't know what's going on, but I have issues with the ads. So, and I actually, if I had a choice, I prefer pre-recording. I don't really like going live. I don't really like it. Not really. I don't like the feeling I don't like the feeling of if something happens, I'm live. I can't just stop the video. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what, knock on wood, anything could happen. But you always have that feeling like in the back of your mind, like anything could happen right now. And I got anywhere from 500 to 1,000 or however many people were watching. You know, I'm live right now. I don't like that feeling. I'm much more used to it now than I used to be. When I very first started live streaming, I would be nervous, dude. But I'm not really nervous anymore, but I just still don't really like it. I feel much more secure when I'm pre-recording, you know? And, but anyway, so I was having issues with the ads streaming live. And, I was like, and I started getting pissed. I'm like, I'm getting so irritated with this. And finally I was like, well, hold up. Let me flip this around. How can I use this to my benefit? You know, I had to catch myself the way I always recommend that you do. I did. It was one of those moments where I was like, God damn it, motherfucker. And I was pissed. I was like bitching and pissed. And I was like, whoa, hold up. How can I flip this around and use this to my benefit? How can I find a positive in this? And then I just felt a little, sit down and research how to make your video content look better with like intros and stuff. And I was like, that's it. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm gonna do next time I get the chance. And actually I figured out how to put that little video intro together in like maybe 20 minutes. It was real quick, easy and simple. So I was like, Okay, cool, touche, universe. I see you. I see you. You know. Oh, work at a dentist from the Netherlands. 3D scan. Yeah, they used a 3D scan in my mouth too. That was cool. I didn't know what in the hell she was doing. I didn't know what she was doing. She had this thing in my mouth going, and it was flashing light in my mouth, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And she goes, oh, cool. And she brought the screen over, and this thing that flashes this light in my mouth and creates a 3D scan of my teeth. And I was like, whoa, dude. Yeah, they use that on me too. Good to listen to me live or not. Yeah. The benefit to streaming live, the only benefit is it's done quick. Quick and easy, you know? Bam, stream live, in stream, bam, it's up there, quick and easy, you know? With pre-recording, you have to pre-record it, then you have to go through an upload and sit and wait for it to upload and all that. And it takes a little bit more time consuming to pre-upload. I just think it feels better. I like it better. You know? I much prefer the feeling of, you know, okay, well, if anything happens right now, God forbid, if I set the smoke alarm off, saging or something like that, you know, I'm not live. I can just stop the video and say, oh, okay, I'll just redo it. Nobody saw that. It didn't mess anything up. You know, but when you're live, it's just like, okay, knock on wood, anything could happen. Anything could happen. I could get a call from the school. You know, Lord knows the school could call and say, hey, Amy just fell off the playground equipment and broke her arm. She needs to go to the hospital. You know, I'm live. You know what I'm saying? And see what I'm saying? I much prefer pre-recording. So I think that I'm going to be doing much, much more pre-recording and saving the live streams for the all signs. You know, I don't even really like doing that, honestly. I don't even really like doing that because then everybody comes to me and complains because they didn't get notified, you know? That has nothing to do with me. I have no idea. For a long time now, people have been complaining about notifications. I don't know why. Nobody's getting notified, you know? And even Leah, like I'll stream live and then, okay, I'll put my cars down, we'll get up and go to the store, we'll be grocery shopping, and then boom, we'll be in the grocery store like an hour after I got done live streaming. She'll get notified for it. Rich Lop is live now. You know, like, what the hell? So, anyway, yep. But yeah, Leah picked out, I asked her to come up. I was like, look, I'm creating an intro. I want you to pick out the template. So she picked out the little template with the lightning, you know, so. Don't get notifications, not complaining. Well, no, I didn't mean it like that. I don't get upset because people complain, because I understand. It's just frustrating in general, you know what I mean? It's frustrating in general. I don't know why people aren't getting notified. It has nothing to do with me. I have no control over that. That's all YouTube, you know? It's all YouTube. So, it's just frustrating in general, you know? I've even had people come to me and tell me, hey, you used to be number one on my list, and then you just disappeared. Poof, disappeared. And then I had to go digging and looking for you, and they had taken you and stuck you at the bottom of my list, you know? And I had to dig to find you, and I was like, I don't know. It could be the algorithm trying to bury me because I'm like helping too many people awake, and they don't like that. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, I much prefer pre-records, you know. And now I got a neat little video intro. Yeah. I might come up with a little video outro too, possibly. Maybe. I don't know. But yep, and I don't know those of you if you paid attention to this or not, but I got a banner. I figured out how to make a banner that fits perfectly on all devices. You know, and put my picture on it with my name and shit. I finally got my YouTube channel and my video content are looking professional and legit now, you know? It took a while. And let's be 100% honest, it's mainly me being lazy as to why it took so long, but this far along in the game, and I'm really not even that far along either. I haven't been doing this very long. It'll be 3 years in September. 3 years in September, and I'm at 250,000 subscribers. So I think that's pretty good. I think that is pretty good, you know? 250,000 in less than 3 years. I was at, let's see, when did I hit 100,000? I think I hit 100,000 before, let me think. Yeah, I definitely hit, I hit 100,000 before my 1 year. I hit 200,000 before my 2 year. Will I hit 300,000 before my 3 year? I don't know. I may not, but still, that's been a pretty decent growth rate, you know? Pretty decent. So anyway, now though, it's like, it's finally looking like my channel and my content are looking like professional and legit now, you know? How do I do it though? What program do I use? I use a lot of different programs. I actually use 2 different apps for my thumbnails. 2 different ones. I've always had this little thumbnail maker app that I downloaded a long time ago, but just never really used. Not really. I mean, I've played around with it a couple of times, but when I was searching for what was I looking for? A meme maker. I was searching for a meme maker for Facebook, and I accidentally stumbled upon this app where I could take a selfie of me and remove the background. It's called Pixomatic. I don't know if it's available on Android, but on iPhone, Pixomatic is what it's called. And I was like, oh shit, I can take a selfie and remove the background, you know? And I was like, oh hell no, it's over. So I use that in conjunction with my thumbnail maker thingy, because that's what I use for the text. So I'll take like an image. I'll go to Google and Google an image, you know, of something like, I don't know, Virgo. And then I'll click images and then find the coolest Virgo image. And then I'll take it and open it up in my thumbnail maker, and I'll cut that image out in the shape of the thumbnail. Okay, in the perfect shape of a thumbnail. And then I'll take that thumbnail, I'll save that and open it up in Pixomatic, and then take a selfie of me that I removed the background from, and I'll just put the image of me and I'll paste it off to the side and save it like that. And then take that image and take it back to the thumbnail maker and open it up there, and then I'll put my text on it, you know, Virgo, May 2021 or whatever. So that kind of just, I stumbled upon that by accident. I was just looking for a meme maker to make memes with on Facebook, and accidentally stumbled upon that. And I used 2 apps for that. So, and to make my video intro, I used Place It. So yeah, I didn't, oh shit, what did I use for my banner? PixArt. I looked up a YouTube video. There was this girl that told how to do it. And I forget, honestly. But if you want to make a banner, there's a YouTube video, and it's like a black girl. And she explained it like perfectly though. She talked a little bit fast though, so I had to like rewind it and kind of watch it several times. But there's PixArt is one of them. And it was the most recent one too. So if you like YouTube, how to make a thumbnail banner, or how to make a YouTube banner, and then it pops up, and it's like a black girl with long curly hair, and she's explaining it. That's all I remember. And then she has it all down to where you can make your banner, and yeah. Anyway, I forget the programs I used for that though. Anyway. Oh. Offer a beer. There you go. Have fun, Rachel. Have fun. Go have you a beer. Not me. Oh, whoa. Guess what? Let's see. Is it almost May? May 7th will be 3 months since I've had any alcohol. Wow. That's crazy. I don't even think about it. 3 months. You need what, Brandy? A banner or thumbnails? Yeah, I can't, I don't, well, I'm on, this is my phone right here, so I can't like show you the apps, but yeah, I use Pixomatic for my, that's just for the images of me with removing the background, you know, and you can, you know what I'm saying? You can remove, like you can take a selfie and then it's like a magic cutter thingy or whatever. You click that and then it removes the background perfectly and flawlessly. And then I take it to Thumbnail Maker and it's got like a purple YouTube emblem on it, Thumbnail Maker. So, oh, an intro. Okay, I use Placeit, Placeit, Placeit is what I use for that. And I subscribed. I think the way it works, if you want a template with, and if you pick your template, and then I went ahead and subscribed for 15 bucks a month. It's like $14.99 a month. But I think if you don't want to subscribe, you can buy the template for like 10 bucks. You know, you just pick it out, you get to design it, you get to put in like whatever words, and then you get to put your logo in there. Bam, quick. You get to pick out what little music track you want playing on it, and it'll give you a little, and I think it's like 10 bucks if you don't subscribe to buy each template. But there's so much stuff on that website. I was like, dude, I'm subscribing. I'm just gonna pay 15 bucks a month, and man, there's all kinds of stuff on there. So yeah, yep. My content's looking legit now. I look professional for the first time since I started. You know, man, when I very first started, I was actually, I remember my very first tarot card reading videos. I was living in a little apartment up in Maine, living in a little apartment, and I was shooting them in the living room, and I was recording them on a Samsung Galaxy J7, $100 little $100 Go phone from Walmart. That's what I started my channel on. That's what I started off on, and then I upgraded to a iPhone 8 Plus. Then I upgraded to the iPhone XS Max, and I've just been doing it on my phone. And then finally, this last December, I finally upgraded to my, well, what you see over here, that's my station now, where I have my laptop, I got a microphone, my light. Now my station is it's all stationary right there. So I've been constantly moving up and moving up and moving up, you know. But yeah, I started off my channel with a Samsung Galaxy J7, and it would take 8 hours to upload one video. Oh, long time viewer. Okay, yeah. I started off in Maine, and I was explaining something in a personal reading to somebody who asked me about making a career out of their passion, you know. And I've heard multiple people say this. I'm not the only one. That most people, whenever they manifest a career out of their passion, do it by accident, you know? And I do know the science that goes into that, but I did. My only intention, honest to God, on everything I have ever loved, I put this on my life, put this on my granny's grave, dude. My only intention was to have a little hobby to keep me occupied on my days off from my day job. Because I lived up there in Maine, little bitty one horse town. You could literally walk from one end of town to the other in like 10, 15 minutes. It was so small. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. So on my days off, I would be so bored. And that was my only intention, was to have something fun to keep me occupied on my days off. And I thought I was gonna have to work. Well, first of all, I didn't even think anybody would watch me, you know? I didn't think anybody would watch me. And oh boy, was I wrong. It rocked my world how fast that blew up. Rocked my world. Like I said, I'm going from nobody knowing or giving a shit who I am to I'm having like Instagram celebrities who are shouting me out, and you know, and it made me feel so weird. And again, I didn't like it at first. I kept that a secret for a long time and played it cool. I didn't like it at first. I didn't like it at all. It made me feel so fucking uncomfortable and so weird. I didn't know how to handle it for the longest time. It wasn't until about the past year, after me and Leah got together, and then she went ahead and built the personal reading business. And that's when I kind of started getting used to it. Like, it took me a while, dude. It took me about a year to get used to being in this position, and you know what I mean? Because the internet was always a place that I would use to escape like my stress and my anxiety. Like, oh man, the outside world's stressing me out. Go get on the internet and play around, you know? And then once by accident, my YouTube channel, which is just my first and last name, blows up, I can't go on the internet anywhere, you know, without being bombarded on every platform because everybody knows my name now, you know? I didn't like it. I did not like it. I hated it. I hated it. Now, though, I don't feel that way at all about it now. You know, I'm totally used to it. I don't remember what it was like. You know, does that make sense? I'm just kind of babbling again, but I don't even know why I started explaining that or where I was going with it. But, yeah, about when I started in Maine. And all I was doing was I just wanted something to keep me occupied on my days off. And, you know, I figured, oh, okay, cool. This will be something that I can work towards. You know, this will be the next little thing that I focus my mind on and the next little goal, you know, because the way I perceive it, I think I'm at the very, very bottom of a mountain. Maybe I can work towards climbing a mountain, you know, not honestly thinking that it was ever going to go anywhere. Boy, oh boy. I remember I made a Facebook post about it and I said, my goal is to have 10,000 subscribers by Thanksgiving. And I posted that on Facebook. Yep, I'm starting a new project. You know, I think I'm going to start reading tarot on YouTube. My goal is to have, and this was in September, okay? September 2018. I said, my goal is to have 10,000 subscribers. Okay, so that's like 2 months. October, November. Yeah, it's like 2 months, 2.5 months, something like that. Thanksgiving rolled around and I had 50,000. 50,000, you know? That's how fast it blew up. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But it's all good, though. It's all good now. It's all good now. Oh, I'm used to it. Do. You remember that, Christy J? Yeah. I still surprisingly have quite a few people who have been following me from day one. It surprises me when I see that, you know? It surprises me when I see that. Because I don't expect that, you know? I don't expect that. You expect people to just get tired of you and quit watching you after a while. That's what I would expect. But there's a very shocking number of people who have been watching me from day one, you know? Like, that's cool, man. That's neat. That's neat. I got all these different vapes here I'm puffing off of. Not tired yet. Have you been following me from day one, Leandro? Have you? I didn't start noticing you until like 6 months ago. Been watching me for a couple years. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, you haven't? Okay. Well, that is just still, it's surprising when I see people who have, because, you know, I've made a lot of people mad. Oh yeah, I made a lot of people mad. Don't mean to, but I have, you know, because when it comes to the awakening path, there are going to be, and it's not just for you, for me, for every last one of us, there are going to be challenges that hang us up when we get on the path. And if you're on the spiritual path, you are not exempt from it. I am not exempt from it. There will be places where we get hung up and we're going to have to throw away one of our belief systems. You know, we're going to have to throw it away and we're going to have to swallow a pill and admit we were wrong about something and face ourselves, you know? And then whenever it gets to one of those, that's what the test to see how much progress you're going to make. And lots of people, they hit those and then they immediately, you know, because it's not fun, dude. I don't want to take this belief or this thing that's kept me comfortable since I was a child and throw it away. I don't want to do that. You know, nobody wants to do that. And then that's where, you know, you'll start losing people. Oh yeah. That's where you'll start losing people. Whenever you get to one of those, when you get to one of those and you piss people off, you know. And I would have to say starting off, one of the biggest hanger-upper places for a lot of people, myself included, was the blame game. You know, the blame game, the blame game, and am I a victim or am I the creator of my circumstance? You know, that's one of the biggest places where lots of people get hung up and they throw their guard up. You know, so and that was one that I had to tackle that first and foremost. My very first baby steps off onto my path were tackling that. You know, when I was homeless. When I was homeless and I found my first law of attraction video on YouTube. That was my very first big pill I had to swallow. Was that I'm not a victim of this. You know, I've been spending my whole life pointing the finger. You know, pointing the finger at the way I was raised, or pointing the finger at my asshole boss at work, or pointing the finger at my toxic bitch wife. You know, it's always somebody else's fault. Everything's somebody else's fault, you know? And then I had to stop and say, whoa, hold up. You mean I created this? Well, I don't want to admit that. None of us want to admit that. None of us want to look at it that way. However, if I want to figure out how this mechanism works, I have to figure, if I want to figure out how to manifest what I do want, I can't do that without figuring out exactly how I manifest what I don't want, you know? And that's still, I was telling you all the other day, was I saying this on a tarot? Yeah, I said this on a tarot card reading video. I forget which one, but that's regular, everyday conversation in my house. You know, with me and Leah, doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter what kind of problem that we experience. The question is always, how did I manifest that? And that's just normal, everyday conversation here in my house, you know? I don't care if we're riding down the road and we get a flat tire. I mean, that's never happened, but still, that we're riding down the road, bam, we get a flat tire. How did I manifest that? And that's what me and Leo always sit and figure out. How do we manifest that, you know? That's always the first question. And then we'll sit and we'll talk about it until we figure out, well, maybe it was this. Maybe it was because I've been thinking this negative thought all day or something like that, you know? And you have to take the way you were programmed to look at the world and rip it apart and flip it around and start looking at life from a totally different set of goggles, you know? Completely different. And yeah, that you'll lose a lot of people when you get to talking about it like that, you know? Mm-hmm. Anyway, I trailed way off of that right there. I mainly was saying it's cool that I've had people still watching me from the very first tarot videos I put up. I was a skinny, little bitty skinny, like I was working at a car wash, you know? And I was working at this, it was called the Farmington Car Wash. For any of you all New Englanders, if you ever take a road trip, you know, all the way up there in Maine. In Farmington, Maine, it was the Farmington Car Wash. And it's this doo-doo hole car wash. It's just this old rundown building. It's really crappy. And I would scrub cars. And I was scrubbing cars for tips, you know. I would eat one meal a day. And that was dinner. It was the only meal I would eat. I was working like 10, 11 hours a day. And would work 4 days on, 3 days off. You know, so I would work like 10 hours a day and get my 40 hours. And I would have 3 days off to do absolutely nothing. So I was skinny, you know what I mean? Like 200 pounds because I was only eating like one meal a day. And I had long hair, got down to here that I had an undercut. I buzzed off of this right here. And I would pull that up in like a little ponytail. When I very first started, I kind of looked like a skinny little hippy dippy dude, you know? Yeah, I remember those good old days. I remember those good old days. But, yeah. So, anywho. Yep, good old days. And now I look back and I don't even recognize that dude. And 1 year from now, I'm not going to recognize me. This version of me. You know, that's the goal. That is the goal. That is the goal. But I look back, you know, on some of my hardest, darkest days sometimes with nostalgia. As weird as that may sound. You ever do that? Is that just me? Where I'll look back like fondly. Man, you know, I remember when I was struggling, and it just seemed like, I don't know, I just look back on it. I'm just so thankful for all those experiences that taught me what I know right now, you know? And it's so strange to be in that place where I look back on it. At the time, that phase in my life was really, it seemed like I was struggling. It seemed like things were horrible. But I look back, I'm like, man, it wasn't even really all that bad. And then a lot of times I'll have to take that and look at this right now. Like if there's something I'm stressed out about now, it's not really all that bad. One of these days I'm going to be looking back and missing this, you know? I look back on those good old days with very fond nostalgia. Very fond. Made you who you are. Yes, yes, yes. I'm very thankful for every single story that made me who I am. There's only one part of my story that I can't say I regret it. I wouldn't take it back, but God, I wouldn't go back and relive it. And there was a period in time where right before I left Louisville, Kentucky, I was homeless in the wintertime. Oh, that sucked. Oh, that sucked. You know, in the wintertime, I'm homeless and I'm working a full-time job too. I'm working a full-time job and I'm sleeping outside of my work trucks in the winter. Oh, that sucked. Yeah, I wouldn't relive that, but I don't regret it because, you know, that was what kicked off my whole journey. You know what I mean? That's what kicked off my whole journey. Because then at that point, I had a strange random Facebook friend offer me a place to live all the way across the country in Idaho. Said, hey, man, that sucks. If you can figure out how to make it here, I'll give you a place to stay. You ain't got to ask me twice. You know, nobody would help me. Nobody would help me. And yeah, so I did. I bought me a bus ticket and left. Traveled all the way across the country. And then that's where I experienced the connection that led me to doing what I'm doing for a living. You know what I mean? That's where it all started. So I couldn't take that back. But man, that was horrifying, dude. Oh, that was horrifying. Yep. God still has my back. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm developing a closer and closer relationship with Source every day. Every day. But yep, that was not fun. That was not fun. I would like go to sleep not knowing if I was going to wake up, not knowing if I was going to freeze to death. Yeah, that right there, when you literally don't know if this is your last day on earth, that's a feeling that, like when you're faced with that, that's a feeling I don't really know how to explain in words. I might not wake up. You know, when you go to sleep knowing I might not fucking wake up. That's definitely a feeling that I can't quite explain in words. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't relive that. But it was a very, very, very necessary part of my journey that led me here. Very necessary. So, yep. Yep. But anywho, we're already coming up on an hour here in about 12 minutes. Had to move to Idaho and wake up. Yeah. You love the vibration? Well, I guess it depends on where you are in Idaho. Because where I was, I lived in Pocatello. And I know that that's kind of like people who are from Idaho. Idaho is like its own little universe, dude. I've been to a lot of different places, a lot of different cities, most states I've been to. It's weird. Idaho is weird. And I know that people from Idaho, they really turn their nose down at that city, Pocatello. They like really look down. Like apparently that's like a really low class, trashy, crappy city. Apparently. Maybe. I don't know. But man, the people there are very different. Very, very different. It's strange. I don't know how to put in words the vibration there, you know? Very, 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 very. I don't know how to explain it in words without sounding really rude. And I don't want to sound rude, but it feels like a lot of the people there are very slow. And that sounds so mean, and I don't want it to sound that way, but it's just a very slow mentality, you know? It feels like. I don't know. I was shown lots of love, and I ended up returning back to that. I've lived there twice, you know. So there's definitely something, some type of energetic tie, something important in my story has to do with that little town, you know, because I've lived there twice. The first time I lived there for about 5 or 6 months, and the second time I went back, I lived there for about 5 or 6 months. That was the first big move that I made. I moved there from Louisville, Kentucky, and stayed there for about 5 or 6 months. Then left and went to Maine, and that's where everything happened that started my YouTube channel. And then I left Maine and ended up back there, you know? And that's when me and Leah met. But my story is very kind of complicated. It's complicated. There's lots of twists and turns in it, but yeah. Time travel back to the 90s. Yeah. Yeah, it molded me into who I am today. I'm one of those kinds of people that I was so stubborn and so stuck, and the universe had to kick the shit out of me in order to get me on the right path, you know? Really, really, really had to kick the hell out of me. It's not, I mean, it sounds cool, but I'm not bragging, because of the simple fact that universe had to resort to, like, to put me on the edge of death in order to slap me in the face and wake me up. I'm not really necessarily bragging about that. Not really, you know. It does make a cool story to tell, but just the simple fact that I was that stubborn and that, you know, hard-headed and whatnot, you know. But anyway, it's all good now. I do the best that I can to, you know, to make it an effort not to be so fixed-minded now. I do the best that I can, you know. Oh, big kick in the pants for Enchanted Cottage, yeah. Had to lose everything. And I'll never forget, too, my biological father was homeless. He was homeless, and him and I had a cousin. As strange as it sounds, my dad and my cousin from my mom's side were both homeless when I was homeless. And I'll never forget when I very first went homeless, we were sitting up under the bridge where he had been living for years and years. And he said, "You've finally been blessed with nothing." I said, "What?" He said, "You've finally been blessed with nothing." He said, "You'll understand what I mean one of these days." And he passed away a year ago, matter of fact. A year ago this May, it'll be a year ago he passed away. And I understand what that means now. It makes perfect sense, you know, makes complete and total perfect sense. Because once I got everything ripped away from me, I was really, really negative, dude. I was that negative minded. Nothing is good enough. You know, my car isn't good enough. My house isn't good enough. I don't make enough money. I looked at the negative side of everything, you know. And once I got everything ripped away from me, and the only thing I had to my name was a couch cushion and a blanket, and that was my bed that I slept on up under a bridge. That's when I really realized that it took that for me to realize how much I had taken for granted, you know. It took that for me to realize how blessed I am just to have a roof over my head. I got arrested one time, and I was like, yes, you know, I get to go be indoors, you know, and eat hot meals and whatnot. Even though eating food wasn't really, you could always find something to eat, even if it was just out of a trash can. But, you know, I get to be indoors and hang out somewhere indoors and sit and watch TV, you know. At that point, when you're happy to go to jail, that's how you know that you've been taking everything for granted. And that's when I began being thankful. Oh, man. Oh, I'm just so glad to be alive, you know. And I told this story on Facebook one time, too. And then I got my first tent. That was my very first upgrade. I got stripped everything away from me. And all I have to my name is a couch cushion that I dug out of an apartment complex dumpster and a blanket. I dove in a dumpster in an apartment complex, and they said, "Well, we got to go get you a bed," my homeless friends, you know. So I dug in the dumpster, got me a couch cushion and a blanket, and that was all I had to my name. And then I started being thankful, you know. It took me a couple of months, and then I started being thankful. And then I got my first tent, you know, and that was my first upgrade. I started from a tent. Everything ripped away from me. And then I started with, my first upgrade was a tent. And that was my home in the woods. And I don't know any of you from southern Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, the Colgate clock right across the bridge there from Louisville. That big clock at the Colgate factory or whatever. There was a little patch of woods right next to the Colgate clock, and that was my home where I got my first tent, you know. And then from there, I lived there for probably another 3 or 4 months in that tent, and turned myself into the healing place, homeless shelter / recovery program. Okay, and then I went from there to our father's house, and that's when I got my free government issued phone. And that was a really cool story as to how I got that too, because I was looking for, y'all remember Obama phones? I don't know if y'all remember those or not, but it's if you were on government assistance, which in order to stay at the healing place, it was required. They made you sign up for food stamps, you know? So I was getting food stamps. So they would have these little tents. They would come and set up these little tents outside. And, you know, it would say phones, you know, and you could go and show them your food stamp card. They'd say how many people live in your household or whatever, and they would give you a free phone. Everybody called them Obama phones. And you could get one of those phones, and it would come with like 250 minutes free a month or something like that. So I was looking for one of those tents. I was like, I got to get out of here. I got to get a place where I can work. And I walked past a beer, okay, because I was in a recovery program, and there was a beer, an open, full beer that was just open, sitting on the sidewalk. And I was like, man, that beer looks good. But I'm looking for one of these tents, you know, looking all over the place. So I searched all over downtown. And finally, I was like, man, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go see if that beer is still sitting there. And I went back to where that beer was sitting, and there was one of those tents. It's like, whoa, okay, universe, I see you. So I got me a phone, and then went to our father's house, and it was a little bit of an upgrade. It was still like this transitionary homeless shelter home type thing, but you had to sign this pledge, you know. Within 14 days, I will start paying something towards rent to show that I'm making an effort to get back into society. So that's what I did. And I went and got me my first job, you know, and it was a minimum wage working at a concrete factory. And I got that job. And from there, on my birthday, I started that job on my birthday. The day I turned 28, I started my first job and met my friend, her name was Heather. And then I just kept moving up from there. And then me and her roomed together. We got a little 1-bedroom apartment together. And then I just kept, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of the journey. My ears ringing now. Those are some of the things I don't really talk about a whole lot about my journey, you know? But that was Enchanted Cottage was saying that you had to lose everything. Yep, that helps. Sometimes if we're stubborn enough, and if you don't ever underestimate universe's ability to make a point. Let's just put it that way. My stories inspire you? Well, thank you. That's the only reason I tell them. That is the only reason I tell them. I was telling y'all a week or two ago that I had a family member reach out to me and say, I don't believe your stories, you know? And I was like, that's why I stay away from my family. That's why, you know? But anyway, yeah, that's the only reason I share my stories. It's the only reason I share them is because a lot of them are very embarrassing. That's not fun to admit, you know? It's not fun to admit that. But I know that there's people out there that need to hear it and know that it's possible. Because there's nothing special about me. The only difference is I started believing that it's possible. I accepted that I had manifested this. It's the only difference between me and people who can't find their way up out of rock bottom. It's the only difference. I accepted. This is my fault. I manifested this, you know? And I started believing that I have the power to manifest something better. If you can't do those two things, you'll never be able to get out of what position you're in. Those are the first two. Those two are mandatory. I accept that my experience is my own creation and my own manifestation. I don't give a damn who did what to me. I don't care what happened to me. I accept that somehow, some way, I don't know how, I don't know. But somehow, some way, shape, form, or fashion, I manifested this, and I have the power to manifest something better. Those two things. And that's the only reason why I share my story. Because if I can do it, there's nothing special about me. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Anybody. Anybody? Anybody. You know what I mean? Family has to be avoided. Yeah. Yeah. Religious indoctrination. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's a big hanger-upper, family. You know, big hanger-upper. Like I said, though, next month I am going to go to Florida to visit my mom, though. You know, I did reconcile with my mother. I did do that. I did do that. I did reconcile with my mom. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But it's a very strange dynamic there because we've never really had that mother-son bond, like ever. Like never, ever. You know, because she didn't raise me, you know. And so we've never really had that mother-son bond quite like, you know, other people do with their mom. So it wasn't difficult for me to like walk away from her and not see her. But I felt the universe pushing me to reconcile with her at least. You know what I mean? So that's cool. It's cool for me to have been able to like take, you know what I'm saying? Because I've never really been able to relate to anybody when I say that I never really had a solid relationship with my mom, you know? And it made me angry for the longest time. Now it doesn't make me angry because now that I'm able to look back and see that everything that happened in my life was a beautifully orchestrated plan and everything worked out perfectly. So I'm not angry anymore. You know, my mom had me when she was 16. She was a kid when she had me, dude, you know? And it was just a big mess, you know? And so I've never really been able to meet anybody who doesn't have a relationship with their mother. I've never personally met anybody who can share that perspective with me. So I've always felt very, very alone, you know, when nobody can understand where I'm coming from. Nobody can understand because it's common if you don't have a relationship with your dad, which I didn't with either. I never had a bond or anything like that with either of my parents, you know, but especially the mom, you know. So whenever I would talk about that, nobody has ever been able to relate to that. So for the longest time, it would kind of make me angry because I felt very alone, you know. So, but I don't anymore. Oh, you can relate? You relate, Jennifer? Yeah. I'm not saying nobody out there, but I've never personally in my personal life met somebody who never ever formed that bond with their mother, you know. Now looking back though, I can see that I wasn't supposed to. So I'm not angry about it. I'm not pissed off about it. I don't hold any grudges or resentment or nothing like that because it makes sense now. But yeah. So, but most family, you know, even my sister. Haven't talked to my sister in 7 years. Haven't seen her. I don't know. I have no idea why. Nothing bad ever happened between me and her, you know. Nothing bad ever happened. I'm just from one of those families that, I don't know, I'm from a very strange family. Very strange, you know. Very, very strange and different and weird. Like every family has their weird dynamics to it. But the one thing about my family that's so different from any other family I've ever seen is we don't stick together. We don't stick together. The people in my family would much rather stab you in the back and throw you under the bus and tell you to fuck off and never, ever, ever see you again, you know, than to have that we stick together because we're family mentality. My family does not have that. Nope. So that's one dynamic that I've never seen in another family before. I mean, you have all kinds of families out there that are toxic and crazy and weird. But one thing is most families stick together that I've personally seen. Not mine, you know. Yeah, see, your family sticks together like a mafia. Yeah, most families do. Most of them do. At the end of the day, we're family, you know, and that triumphs over everything. Not mine. Blood's thicker than water. Yeah, well, so is diarrhea. And I know that's not what that phrase means. Everybody, you know what I'm saying though. But that's the weird thing about my family is don't stick together. Nope. So I can't relate whenever I hear like any kind of like when somebody has like some family drama or whatever popping off, and oh, we have to stick together. I can't relate to that. So when people ask me for advice on that, I usually just stay quiet. I usually stay quiet because my advice is I don't get just because somebody has the same blood as you, that don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing. Well, so and here's the thing too. I should be able to treat you however I want and get away with it because I'm family. My fucking ass. My ass. You will never see me again. You think I care? That's my outlook on it. You think you can just treat me and talk to me however you want just because you're my family? No. No, I don't care if you're my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, my auntie. I don't care who you are. Nope. Just because you got the same blood as me, that doesn't mean no. Nope. So, that's my outlook. That's my outlook. So, when people are asking me about family issues, I do the best that I can to either keep quiet, or just if you want to hear the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Like it depends if you're in a family situation that's toxic, and it's karmic and the cycles are just going to repeat themselves. And basically what ends up happening as a result is you're like a hot air balloon with a sandbag still attached. You're like a hot air balloon. If you can't let go of your family, you're not going to make any progress because that's a very specific vibration. That's a very specific frequency. And if you can't let go of that frequency, you're never going to make any progress, And no, this does not mean that you necessarily have to abandon your family for the rest of your life. But there's a lot of people out there, who that's what's holding them back. That's what's holding them back, Oh, I can't just cut my mom out of my life. No, sorry, that's a frequency. And until you change frequencies and you separate from people, places, or things that are on that frequency, you're never going to tune into a new frequency. And if you never tune into a new frequency, you're never going to experience anything new. You're going to keep recycling the same experiences over and over and over again. That's just all there is to it. It's a universal law. It's not my opinion. It's not my philosophy. That's just the way it works, period, So, yep. So, you live that? Yeah. Choose to love and teach your children? Yeah. Yep. Oh. I'm going to be having to get out of here in a couple minutes, y'all. I've already been on here longer than I like to be, and I got a personal reading to do. Love from a distance. There you go. There you go. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Anywho. Hang on. Let me see what time this reading's due. 10:30. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got like 2 hours, and I got this reading due here. And there's probably more that I have to do today too. She's got to print them out for me. I don't ever really know, But anyway, I am going to go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Go see if the kiddos are up. Might give me a little bite to eat. And hopefully I will see you all publicly on the main channel. I'm out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good morning.